next stitch I'll show you is the fly stitch. And the fly stitch is like, you need to think of a letter V. So we're going to think of a letter V or a letter Y. Okay, so a fly stitch can just be a letter V, or we can put a tail on it. So we come up at the top of the V and go down at the bottom of the other one, and then back up at the base of the V. And it's a bit like an open lazy daisy or detached chain. So instead of going up and down in the same spot, our two tops are open. The thread is under the needle, and then we take the stitch down through the back on the outside of the loop. And in this instance I'm giving it a nice long tail. In this one I come up, go down, come up, thread under the needle, and down over the loop to lock it down, and that is a traditional fly stitch. I've quite often used a fly stitch leaf, and this is where we stack our fly stitches very close together so that they fill the shape. If I just show you with this 2 strands still here how I could stack another straight underneath, then you can see, you can get the idea how it's going to start to fill a shape. Okay, now the trick to a nicely shaped fly stitch leaf is our first stitch, and I'm going to do it in 6 strands now, but I'll stay with black so that you can see it easily on camera. The trick is to get our first fly stitch about that shape. So it's not a Y, it's longer on one side than the other, because we want to get this nice point here. So in which case I come up and picture the vein down the center of the leaf. That's where our needle is going to go back in each time. So I come up and I go down on the edge of the leaf below my other stitch, and then I come up down here where the center vein would be. And I've got that little sort of hook shape. And I'm going through to the back. You could sew this, so you could scoop stitch it, or I'm stab stitching it. So now I'm going to come up on the outside edge of the leaf right up there at the top, and back on the other side underneath that one, up in the center. And if it helps, you can mark your center vein, but once you get the hang of it, you will just use your eyes. But if I was going to mark it, I would have my center vein down here, and I would just make sure that my locking stitch went down in that every time. So down in that, back up to the top, and you make your way. You want to get your outside stitches as even as possible, because that's the shape of your leaf. And you just keep going. You also want to keep the angle, so you want to keep your angle even the whole way. You don't want to sort of get flatter and flatter and flatter as you go. So you want to try and keep the same angle. And then sometimes you can get one last one to get the nice rounded bottom shape down here. The bottom of your leaf, you can tuck it in there, or it might have a little stem that goes into its branch or into its flower, so you can have a longer finishing stitch just like you did there. And that's a fly stitch leaf.